Good morning, all, and thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the meetup session Unveiling the Power of AWS Monitoring, a journey into enhanced performance and security, hosted by Cloud.in. I'm Suvarna Jadhav, working with Cloud.in as a strategic partnership and alliance manager. For today's session, we have Riddhi Shah and Siddhi Bilare as a speaker. Both our speakers are working with Cloud.in as an AWS cloud consultant. In this session, our expert speaker will guide you through the intricacies of AWS monitoring, focusing on two crucial aspects, performance and security. You will gain insights into the best practices, advanced techniques, and powerful tools designed to streamline monitoring processes and enhance overall system efficiency. Before starting the session, I would like to mention a few points. All attendees are muted by default and cannot be unmuted during the session. We will have a question and answer session at the end of the presentation. If in case you have any questions in between the session, please raise your hand to grab speaker's attention, or you can ask question through the questions section. Welcome Riddhi and welcome Siddhi. I request Riddhi to start the session. Over to you, Riddhi.
Thank you so much for joining the meetup. So the agenda of today's session is introduction to so the agenda of today's meetup is introduction to AWS monitoring and its benefits with AWS monitoring. Key AWS monitoring services. So next is real-time use cases. And last but not the least, question and answer round. So coming to the introduction of AWS monitoring. AWS monitoring is the process of collecting, analyzing, and using data to track various systems. So Amazon Web Services monitoring scans your AWS resources and applications, and it collects data to ensure that everything is operating smoothly and securely. So it helps in identifying the vulnerabilities and issues in your AWS infrastructure. And also it predicts the performance and optimizes configurations. So this practice also tracks and manages the performance, health, and security of your cloud infrastructure and applications. So Amazon Web Services gives you a bunch of tools to keep an eye on how your infrastructure is doing in the cloud. So these tools can help you see if everything is running smoothly and if your data is safe and if your system is performing well. So some of the key monitoring services provided by AWS includes Amazon CloudWatch, AWS CloudTrail, Amazon Guard Duty, and Amazon Inspector. So next comes the benefits of AWS monitoring. Improved operational visibility, enhanced system performance and availability, early detection of issues and anomalies, increased security and compliance, cost optimization through resource utilization monitoring. So in this AWS monitoring provides a real-time insights into your performance and health of your cloud resources and applications. So AWS monitoring tools like Amazon CloudWatch helps you to keep an eye on how your cloud resource and apps are doing. So like you get to know the important things like how much your servers are working, if there are any problems and what's happening with your data. So with centralized monitoring on CloudWatch, you gain visibility into key metrics, logs, then events across your entire AWS environment. So it helps you with better understanding on how resources are behaving and identify your areas for optimization. So next comes the enhanced system performance and availability. So in this, by monitoring the matrix such as CPU utilization, then memory usage and network traffics like network in and network out, it enables you to identify performance bottlenecks and optimizes resource utilization. So this also helps you to ensure that your system remains responsive, scalable, and available. So AWS monitoring helps you find and fix problems before they cause a big mess to checking things like how busy your servers are or how much memory they are using. So this keeps systems running smoothly and makes sure that they are always available when you need them. So yeah, next comes the early detection of issues and anomalies. So AWS monitoring allows you to set up alarms and notifications based on predefined threshold and anomalies detected in your matrix and logs. So like this enables you to detect the respond to issues before they impact your users or business opinions. So this also minimizes the downtime and service disruptions. And it's like having a warning system that helps you to avoid big problems before they happen. So next comes increased security and compliance. So with services like AWS CloudTrail and Amazon Guard Duty and also AWS monitoring, it helps maintaining a secure and compliant environment by monitoring and auditing user activities, then detecting like unauthorized access attempts, like you get to know if third party is trying to log into your account, and also identify security threats and or vulnerabilities. They also keep a track of like what's doing and like what can spot any suspicious activity by helping you to keep your data and apps safe from hackers. So next is cost optimization through resource utilization and monitoring. So AWS monitoring enables us to track resource utilization metrics and analyzes usage patterns such as graphs to identify the opportunities of cost optimization. You can also see if you're using too much of something or like if you have things setting around and not doing anything, like you have an EC2 instance and it is not pretty much in a utilization. So like you can upgrade, like you can downgrade your instance. So like this helps you to use your resources more efficiently and keeps cost down. So by rightly using your resources and optimizing performance, so it eliminates used capacity. You can reduce costs and maximize efficiently of your AWS environment. So like overall, the AWS monitoring empowers organizations with the visibility, insights, and control needed to optimize performance and also ensures availability and enhance security best practices. So overall, the AWS infrastructure and applications help you with various benefits. So next comes the key AWS monitoring services. So the first service that comes under monitoring services is Amazon CloudWatch. So like it is the centralized morning service that collects and tracks metrics, logs, and events from your AWS resources. So it also enables you to like create your customizable dashboards and set up your alarms and also gain insights from your resource performance and operational health as well. So by using Amazon CloudWatch, like you can see your CPU utilization, you can check your network in or out traffic. So next service that comes under the AWS monitoring services is AWS Cloud Trail. So this service provides us with the audit trail of API calls and activities performed within your AWS account. So this helps in monitoring and tracking any changes to your AWS resources for like security, compliance, and also operational auditing purposes. So next service that comes under the AWS monitoring is Amazon Guard Duty. It is a threat detection service that continuously monitors AWS accounts for malicious activities and even unauthorized behavior. Now it analyzes the log data, network traffics, and API activities to identify the security threats and vulnerability. And the last but not the least is Amazon Inspector. Now, the inspector is an automated security service that helps improve the security and compliance of applications deployed in your AWS. And inspector basically checks your cloud for any weak spots that could be exploited. And then it helps to find and fix any vulnerabilities to keep the cloud safe. So these are all the services that comes under AWS monitoring. And from here on, I band it over to Siddhi to carry forward the AWS monitoring services in detail.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Riddhi. Good morning. So let's take a deep dive in these four mentioned major monitoring services. Let's start with CloudWatch. So basically, what is CloudWatch? CloudWatch is a monitoring services. It will provide you a very comprehensive set of monitoring and observability tools that will also collect or visualize and analyze metrics, logs, events from your AWS resources, and it also monitors resources in real time. And also, when it comes to security, CloudWatch will offer you key features that are invaluable for monitoring and responding to security incidents. Like CloudWatch will give you metrics monitoring. Cloud metrics monitoring will enable you to monitor the performance or the health of your resource of AWS, health of your resource, including EC2 instance, IDS, or S3 buckets, and many more. Like you can monitor multiple services in CloudWatch and also get the metrics from that. Also, by tracking the metrics such as CPU utilization, network traffic, network in and out traffic, and also storage capacity, you can detect the anomalies and potential security issues earlier and resolve them in time. Also, the most amazing or key feature of CloudWatch is that CloudWatch can give you to create a customized dashboards, home pages in CloudWatch console that you can use to monitor your resources and in a single view. Even those resources that are spread across different regions or different availability zones, you can use CloudWatch dashboards to create a customizable a view of your metrics or utilization. With this customization, you can create like a single view for a selected metrics and alarms to help you assess the health of your resources and applications. across multiple availability zones or multiple regions. And also you can select the color you used for each metric on each graph, so that you can easily track the same metrics across multiple graphs. And in custom dashboards, you can also create a playbook that provides guidance for team members during operational events about how to uh, respond to a specific incident. And furthermore, you can also have a common view of critical resource and application measurements that can be shared by team members for faster communication flow during operational events. Like this, you can create your own customized CloudWatch dashboard to uh, monitor your resources in terms of security or performance. Moving ahead, we have some CloudWatch benefits. So, as I said before, you can create metrics such as CPU utilization. You can see the graph over here. How does it looks like CPU utilization graph for 2 to 3 months? And by default, each data point covers the 5 minutes that follow the start time of activity for the instance. And if you enabled detail monitoring, each data point covers the next minute of activity from the start time. And also, please note that for the minimum and maximum and average statistic, the minimum granularity for the matrix that EC2 provides is for around 1 minute. Okay. Moving on to the CloudTrail. So, what is a CloudTrail? CloudTrail is actually a logging service. It will log all your API calls or all your events and trails into the CloudTrail. CloudTrail is a service that will help you enable operational and risk auditing and compliance of your AWS account. And all the actions, all the actions taken by a user or role or any AWS service are recorded as a events in CloudTrail. So events include actions taken in AWS Management Console or the actions taken through CLI or SDK. So when CloudTrail is active in your AWS account, you can create it. You can enable it for logging, and when activity occurs in your AWS account, that activity will be recorded in a CloudTrail event. And CloudTrail also has some basic features like event history. So whatever, like suppose if some IAM user has created an instance and he has updated or done some patching on it. So that user information will be get stored in CloudTrail event history. So the event history will provide you a viewable, a searchable, and a downloadable record for past 90 days of management events in AWS region. And also you can search events by filtering on a single attribute, like you can, like what we can say, like you want to see that when the EC2 instance, when a specific EC2 instance was created. So you can filter this out by applying a event resource name or a event name. You can filter it out and you can search it in the event history. You automatically have the access to event history when you create your account. The next main advantage of CloudTrail is like security analysis. So security analysis, CloudTrail will allow the user to discover and troubleshoot the security and operational problems by recording like a detailed history of changes that were occur in your resources uh, at intervals in AWS account, and it will also help you in uh, analyzing or detecting if any unauthorized user have tried to log into your AWS account. And the next it comes is a simplified compliance. Like CloudTrail will simplify your compliance audit with AWS Cloud with by automatically capturing and storing the events log in an event history for activities performed within your AWS account. And then comes security automation. The next benefit for CloudTrail, security automation, CloudTrail will allow the user to track and automatically reply to the account for the safety purpose of Amazon resources. And the next but not the least, it is the visibility into user and user activity. CloudTrail will provide you a detailed history of API calls and related events. As I said before, it will provide you a detailed history about your resources, or like who made the changes and when the changes were made. So it will provide you a detailed history of API calls and related events made within your AWS resources. And this visibility will help you understand that who made the changes, which is very crucial for security, compliance, and troubleshooting purpose. So overall, the AWS CloudTrail is a powerful tool for like enhancing security, compliance, and operational visibility for your AWS environment. It will help you to maintain your resources and all the AWS account secure and well managed. So some of you might be have confusion between CloudWatch and CloudTrail. So I'll make it clear over here. So CloudWatch and CloudTrail can are very easy for confusing. So these both are monitoring services that are responsible for collection and analyzing. But CloudWatch is responsible for analyzing various metrics, logs, and events pertaining to your AWS resources. And CloudTrail is an AWS logging service that is designed to capture the API calls made with an individuals in AWS account. So basically, CloudWatch will monitor your resource and CloudTrail will monitor your whole AWS account, like what's going on in your AWS account, like who have some change, what changes are made in your AWS account, like this. And the next comes the AWS guard duty. So AWS Guard Duty is a threat detection service to protect your AWS environment by continuously monitoring for malicious activity and unauthorized behavior. So it will analyze the data from CloudTrail, VPC flow logs, and DNS logs to identify potential threats such as you can say unusual API calls or unauthorized access attempts and communication with known malicious IP addresses. So Guard Duty uses a machine learning to detect the patterns and anomalies, and it will keep alerting you to potential security issues in real time. This is the most specific feature of guard duty, which you won't get in either CloudTrail or CloudWatch. So, and the next guard duty will also provide you a detailed findings and recommendations for remediation, helping you to improve the overall security posture of your account. It is easy to set up and integrate seamlessly with other AWS security services. And it will also make it an effective tool for enhancing your security in AWS infrastructure. So these are some basic advantages of guard duty. So continuous monitoring, like it is in monitoring services, so it will continuous monitor your AWS environment for potential security threats and suspicious activity, which will provide you a real-time alert. And it is also easy to use. Like you can set up and configure with no software deploy or manage. And as I said before, Guard Duty integrates seamlessly with other AWS services. So, intelligent threat detection. Guard Duty uses machine learning language, and threat alliance to detect or to analyze and prioritize security findings, which will help you focus on most critical issues. So, Guard Duty provides you a dashboard for your AWS account, and all the findings or all by guard duty will uh, will be appeared in that guard duty dashboard. It is also a cost-effective service, like pay as you go service with no upfront cost and no long-term commitments. You only pay for the resources you use it. And as I said, that it has a dashboard, like it will give you an overview of all the malicious activity which comes under centralized security monitoring. So it will provide you a centralized view of security findings across your AWS account and regions, and it will make it easy to manage and respond to security threats. The next is compliance assistance. So guard duty will help you to meet compliance requirements by providing a detailed logs or a detailed report of its finding or the security events. And it is also scalable, like guard duty can scale with your AWS environment, providing security monitoring for large scale developments without any additional efforts. So overall, guard duty is a one of the best monitoring service, as we recommend to enable guard duty in your AWS account, that it will help you in detecting threats or some malicious activity which will be carried in your AWS account. So it will detect it, and it will present you in a form of dashboard. When you enable guard duty, you will get a dashboard where you will find all the security and malicious activity. And in the end, it is a powerful security tool, you can say that, which will help you to improve the security of AWS environment, and which will also provide continuous monitoring and intelligent threat detections. And also it has the capability to provide us the automated response uh, automated response. Okay. So last is AWS Inspector. AWS Inspector is a assessment tool, assessment service, you can say. Assessment service that will help you to improve the security and the compliance of your applications running on AWS. So it works by analyzing the behavior of your AWS resources, and it will also provide a detailed findings to help you identify potential security issues. So inspector will check for all the vulnerabilities, deviations from security best practices, and will also check common misconfigurations in your application or in your AWS resources like EC2 or ECR, you can say. And it will also provide you a prioritized recommendations for remediation. Like uh, if you enable inspector in your AWS account, so it will scan all the servers, like you have multiple EC2s and you're hosting multiple applications on that. So once you enable inspector in your AWS account, it will scan all your EC2 and it will provide you with a detailed information whether there are software vulnerabilities or deviations from security like this. So inspector is also easy to use. It will once you enable it, it will get started and it will start scanning all the servers in your AWS with automated assessment capabilities that will also integrate seamlessly with your existing AWS. It will also help you enhance the security of your application and meet the compliance requirements by providing a detailed insights and also recommendations for improvement. So once guard duty, inspector, once you enable it, it will provide a detailed information and a detailed report of your software vulnerabilities, and also it will provide you some recommendations for that improvement. Then we have some basic advantages of Amazon Inspector used for vulnerability assessment. Like as I told you before, it will scan your applications, your operating systems and libraries to pinpoint vulnerabilities, and this will enable you to prioritize and fix these weaknesses promptly or actively, reducing the risk of exploitation. And also it is a security best practice that this service evaluates your configuration against established security best practices. It then offers suggestions to enhance your application security, ensuring adherence to industry standards. Next is compliance check. Inspector will assess your applications for compliance with security standards and regulations. And it will also detect and reports common misconfigurations, and which will help you to align with it will help you to align with regulatory requirements. Next is automated security assessments. So the inspector automates the security assessment and by simplifying the task of monitoring your application's security. So it will also continuously monitor your applications, the operating system to enhance the ability to detect and mitigate the security threats. The next is prioritized recommendations, also conveyed before. After assessment, the inspector will provide you the prioritized recommendations for remediations. Like it, it will provide you with the detailed information which will help you to focus on addressing the most critical security issues first by optimizing your security efforts. And last one is a scalable security assessment. The inspector is capable of assessing large and complex number of application, irrespective of the number of servers you have in your AWS account. Like, doesn't matter how many servers or how many ECR containers you have in your account. Once you enable AWS Inspector, it will scan all your servers and applications and provide you with the detailed information. And after that, provide you with the detailed security assessment for a wide range of AWS resources. So basically, AWS Inspector is also one of the most powerful tool for monitoring your applications and for improving the security of your applications on AWS. It will provide you with continuous monitoring and automated assessments and customizable security rules to help you protect your applications. And also, it will protect your applications from security threats. And so basic difference between AWS Guard Duty and AWS Inspector is Guard Duty is a threat detection and monitoring for security events. It is a threat detection service and monitoring service for security events for your overall AWS environment. So, as for AWS Inspector, it is a security assessment for vulnerabilities and compliance for your application or for your servers, you can say. So on the other hand, Guard Duty will monitor events and logs from various AWS services, whereas AWS Inspector will assess security of EC2 instance or EVR containers, network, and apps. So this is the basic difference between AWS Guard Duty and AWS Inspector. So as you can see in this diagram, that Inspector will also scan your EC2 servers and ECR servers and provide you with the detailed monitoring. And Inspector also scans your EC2 instance for known security vulnerabilities such as 0 days, etc., and reports on them. It doesn't scan behavior just known on new security vulnerabilities. So this was the overall four major monitoring services for your AWS account, which will help you to monitor your whole AWS resource or monitor your AWS environment infrastructure, and will keep your AWS infrastructure aligned with security best practices. And you can also optimize your performance by using all these monitoring services in your AWS infrastructure. So yeah, that's it for today. So if anyone has any question related to the section, you can ask me in the question section.
Thanks, Siddhi, and thanks, Riddhi. The session is open for Q&A. If anyone is having any questions, you can raise your hand and I will unmute you, or you can type your question in the question section. Siddhi, I think there are no questions, so we can conclude the session. Thank you, Riddhi, and thank you, Siddhi. It was really a great learning experience for all of us. And thank you all for attending the session. Have a great day. I have pasted one link in the chat box for the feedback. Do share your feedback through that link. It will help us to improve the experience.
Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in future webinars. Thank you.
Thank you.